So we go? Okay. Welcome, everybody. This talk will be in English, but in French-English, you know. My name is David Pilato. I'm technical advocate, developer, evangelist, whatever name you want, at Elasticsearch.com. We, as a company, are building 3 products, which are Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. And today we are going to talk about Elasticsearch and Kibana. So what is Elasticsearch? If you don't know it already, Elasticsearch is a search engine built on top of Lucene, and probably the most powerful and the best open source library for search, product for search. Don't trust me, just test it, you will see, because I'm Elasticsearch employee, you know. We provide a REST API, so you can play using JSON documents, no matter of your technology stack. Elasticsearch is scalable. We have sharding, replication, failover, load balancing. Everything is built in. It's easy to start with Elasticsearch. Basically, you just need 30 seconds to start to play with Elasticsearch, about 20 seconds to download the project, and then 10 seconds to play with it. And everything is under Apache 2 license. It's the same for Logstash and Kibana as well. So when I said start and play, basically what you have to do, download the distribution and launch it. You just have to provide a JVM, and that's all. And then, the first thing you have to do is to send documents. Like this one. This is a JSON document. This is the first line, the first command I sent to Elasticsearch. So what I'm doing here, I'm indexing a document of type session in an index we call sessions. And this document has many fields. So we have a title, a date, an array of tags, and then a first name for the speaker and a last name, which are inner attributes. So what we do with that document, we index that document. What is an index? Basically, this is something like this. Sorry, it's a French snapshot. But this is what you can find at the end of a book. This is an index. You have terms. For example, the word here we go, fenêtre, which means window. We have found this word in several pages, so that means basically that we have indexed pages, and this is the list where we can find the term. This is the list of objects where we can find this term fenêtre. And with Elasticsearch, you can search, of course, but you can also compute some analytics. Why this? For example, we have already something interesting here. We know that the term fenêtre has been found in 6 documents. So this is already a statistic. And based on that, we can do many other statistics. We can have what we call facets on top of terms, on top of numbers. So we can build geo facets, for example, for the geolocation thing. We can build a top 10 facet, which means what are the most important terms in our dataset, range facet, statistics facet. And so we can build dashboards. And everything almost in real time. You have 1 second delay between the time when you index a document and then when you can search for it and compute analytics on top of it. To build analytics, we have a nice project which name is Kibana. Kibana, until version 3, was a graphical user interface built in Ruby on top of Logstash. Logstash is basically an ETL tool which fetch logs and index them into Elasticsearch. Starting version 3 of Kibana, Kibana is now a generic UI to build your own dashboard, whatever your data are. It's written in AngularJS, and it's provided by the Elasticsearch.com company, the same for Logstash. So it's a generic UI, so you can make sense on whatever data you have. You can make sense of logs, of course, of Twitter. There is a demo running right now. I will show you at the end of the talk the link for that on Devox, for Devox. You can make sense of GitHub, you can make sense of your marketing data, you can make sense of your data. I mean that we often associate Elasticsearch with big data, but you can do that with small data as well. Don't be afraid of small data. You can use Elasticsearch. It's really easy to use Elasticsearch. So you can use that for a small data set. And you can, of course, do that on your big data. And today we are going to index, in fact, marketing data. So what does my data look like? I have that kind of JSON document. I have a name, I have a date of birth, I have a gender, I have some marketing point of interest thing. Think about the number of clicks you have on your iPhone application, for example, for the fashion button, music button, hi-fi button, whatever. And we have an address with a country code, and city. So I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm going to inject some data in Elasticsearch here. Let me switch my screen. Oops. Is it okay? Okay. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. I think I need to, oops, zoom a little here. So basically, I'm going to start Elasticsearch. Okay. Elasticsearch is starting on 2 ports. We have a REST API port, which is this one, 9200. I have an injection script, and this script will randomly generate person, like I have shown you before. So I'm going to inject 500,000 of this data in Elasticsearch. So here we go. This script is built in Java. So what I can do now is to look at this. I'm sorry, I have a too big screen here. Okay. I'm sorry. Here we go. Ah, can you see it? Okay. Ah, too bad. I'm sorry about this. I don't know what's going on with my... Sorry. I have some technical issue here. Okay. So here is my view of my, what I name the index. My index is a person. And currently I have all my documents, I think. Yes, I have injected all my documents into Elasticsearch. What I want to do now, I'm sorry, I'm going to switch that because it's not really good for me. This is it, yeah. Okay. Don't know. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I will try like this. Okay. So I have 500,000 person, and now I want to build a dashboard with Kibana. Let me do that, and fuck. Sorry. It's really a pain. Okay, let's try to do that. So the first thing I have to do is to define on which Index I am playing. Let's reload that. Okay, it doesn't work. I have really a bad resolution here. Okay. So I am starting Kibana. It's only Angular JS application. So it's run in my browser. So the first thing I have to do, I start with a blank dashboard, and I set up my dashboard as this. I need to tell that I'm working on the index called person. I will work. No, that's okay. Really sorry about this. This is a resolution problem I have here. So, blank dashboard. I have a B plan if it doesn't work. Okay, my index is person. The first thing I have to do is to add rows. Think about it like Twitter Bootstrap rows. I'm going to add a row named analytics. Okay. And in that row, I'm going to add panels. The first panel I want to add is the number of hits that match to the query I will send. For example, I want to display here the number of hits, so I have now 500,000 of person, because I search for everything. Let me inject more data. Okay, I inject more data. So if I run the query again, here, okay, you can see the number which is increasing. Okay, I can search for Joe, for example. How many person do I have with the name of Joe? It's this number. Perhaps I can do that. Can you see it? Yes, not really. And I can add another query. For example, I want to see the number of John. Here we go. So I have the total number of that, but I want to see the repartition between Joe and John. So let's modify this panel. I can say, okay, instead of displaying the total number, I want to display it as a bar. Okay, here is the distribution of Joe and John. Let's add a label here. Joe and John. We have a date of birth field, so we can compute a date histogram based on the birth date. So what is the repartition of Joe and John by date of birth? So I add here an histogram. This is my title, date of birth. And I'm running it on the date of birth field. And I add it. There's a small issue here. So here is the distribution of Joe and John broken by year. What about the gender? We have a gender, so I can run what we call a terms facet, which is the top 10 of values, on the gender field. Let's display it as a pie. I don't want to see missing and over. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is strange because we have females with Joe and John. What's happened? We can add another row. And let's display the results. I'm going to make that bigger. And here I'm going to add a table. I want to display my results. Make it big. Okay, here we go. As you can see here, Kibana and Elasticsearch knows automatically what we name the mapping. That means that every JSON document provides a field, and if I add new field in my JSON documents, I will see that field here. I don't have to define anything here. So I want to display the name, I want to display the date of birth, for example, the gender, the country, and the city, whatever. Okay, here are my values. There was a problem with the female, not really a problem, but so I can click on the graph, and it will add a new filter. You can see that filter here. So now I have only females. And okay, why Joe and John are working? Because Joe and John are here the last name. So it's perfect, it's fine. What we can do with Kibana, we can save the dashboard, and then we can reopen it. So you can save it as a file, or you can save it into Elasticsearch itself. So here is a dashboard I have built before. So for example, I have the total number of hits, the gender, the date of birth, the fact that I have 1,000 persons in Germany. Oh, look at my query. My query was the number of persons are interested in cars and the number of persons interested in food here. I have it broken by cities. So what I can do now, I can, for example, search for female in Germany, in Munich here, for example, born in the 70s. Here we go. I have the list. I have the total list. So basically, what you can do with Kibana and Elasticsearch. Yep, that's cool. You can make sense of your data, whatever they are. I'm sorry. Okay. Cool. That's working very fine. Okay. Normally, you should see something like this. That was the end of the talk. So you can make sense of your data, whatever they are. You can build your dashboard when you need to build a dashboard. I mean that you are not fixed to use any dashboard. You can provide that kind of tool to your admin system if you are if you are indexing logs, for example. You can use that for Twitter. You can provide that kind of tool for your marketing team, for example. So you can build whatever you want. Here is a dashboard. You can copy that URL here. It's for Devox. For this session of Devox, we index all the tweets related to Devox. So you can use it and play with Kibana. So this is the end of this talk. I'm sorry. I had no time for questions, but we can discuss just after this. Thank you for your attention, and sorry for